2. Wow. Mm-hmm. Gosh, it feels like it's been so long since we started our podcast. I mean, this is episode 2. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
I think we should celebrate.
Exactly, Myron.
Thank you. But welcome to...
No intros, no fillers.
Wow. She's a good girl.
Yeah.
Today's episode, we're going to go over my favorite anime ever.
Hunter x Hunter. Or Hunter x Hunter. I never know what to call it.
I just don't even need to talk. Just let you answer everything.
No.
Okay, what? What were you say?
Like Hunter x Hunter. But some people call it Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm just going to call it Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, that's how you've always said it. You introduced me to it, so that's how I say it. But then when I hear other people say it, I'm like, oh my gosh, are we saying it wrong? You know?
Yeah. I've seen this anime at least 4 times. At least. Probably 6 or 7, but I wasn't counting, so I have to shoot low just to make sure that I'm not lying, which I never do. All right, so this part I'm gonna do like a quick 2-minute recap. It's just gonna be a quick recap about Hunter x Hunter, just in case you haven't seen it in a while. All right, folks, strap in. Ready? Go. All right, meet Gon. He's got big hair, bigger dreams, and a fishing rod that's not just for fishing. He's on a quest to find his dad, who's apparently the hide-and-seek world champion. This is Killua, silver-haired wonder kid from a family of, well, let's call them not-so-friendly assassins. He loves candy and occasional murder. Leorio, he dresses like he's going to a business meeting, but mostly just yells a lot. He's in it for the money, honey. And Kurapika, with eyes redder than someone binge-watching anime on a weeknight, he's out for revenge against a gang of fashion-forward thieves. Hisoka, speaking of fashion, here's Hisoka, a clown magician who's both terrifying and oddly glamorous. The gang's all here, so let's get them to the Hunter x Hunter exam. Imagine Survivor, but more dangerous, and your fellow contestants might actually eat you. Then there's a slight detour to Killua's creepy family mansion, because nothing says bonding like breaking your best friend out of his assassin family home. Then quick jump to a skyscraper where kids duke it out for cash. Spoiler, elevators are overrated. They prefer punching their way to the top instead. York New City, where Kurapika's mood is as dark as the underground auctions and the Phantom Troop is stealing everything, including the show? Ever played a video game that could kill you? No? Then you haven't been on Greed Island. Cute ants, right? Wrong! Here's a story where ants evolved to want to rule the world and also play board games. Oh, and did we mention here's an electric... It's electric. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Oh, and did we mention there's an election arc? Because who doesn't love politics mixed with their action-packed shonen? And breathe. That's Hunter x Hunter. A wild ride of friendship, fighting, and seriously, why is Hisoka so creepy, yet so captivating? Tune in next time. Well, next time is right now. Here we go. Well, that was our 2-minute recap. How'd you like it?
Oh, wow. That was no mistakes. I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
There weren't any. It's electric, man.
So, Hunter x Hunter, created by Yoshihiro Togashi. Did I say that right?
Yoshihiro
Togashi.
Yoshihiro.
He's the man. Like, how he created an anime that's better than any other anime.
Yeah, it's
in the world.
Seriously Tristan's favorite. I wonder if anyone else's favorite is Hunter x Hunter. And he also created Yu Yu Hakusho, which I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. I made her watch that, too.
Yeah. And I think they're actually going to reanimate Yu Yu Hakusho. So that's pretty exciting.
The Hunter exam arc, right? So we've got this kid living on an island with his cousin, technically, right?
I don't know. But yeah, no, I love that opening scene of Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, yeah. I've got that painting right here.
Yeah, one of your favorite gifts from who? Yours truly.
Yeah,
Thank
she
you.
pretty much got all of these for me, so.
Yeah. That's a good thing about marrying someone who loves anime. You just get anime stuff. for like birthdays, Christmas and stuff. You're just like, oh, what anime thing should I get, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's done.
Can't go wrong with it.
It's true.
So this kid, he's on an island. He just wants to go find his dad, and
yeah, he's really happy-go-lucky, super just like cheerful, and
it's like he's competing against his dad's shadow, right? Because he wanted to be a certain age until he caught that big fish. Because that was the milestone he had to hit, was to catch that big fish in order for his cousin or his mom to let him go take the hunter exam. You don't remember that?
Yeah. Gosh, well, I remember the fish. I remember him catching the fish. I just, again, didn't remember the details of catching said fish.
Or his mom said that he could go on it once he catches that fish, which is something that his dad did before he left the island too. And he's just super excited to get off the island and explore.
Set on in his own dream, like Luffy, like all the greats.
So he starts the test with like on a boat, and that's where he meets Leodio. Yes. And they don't know it. It's already part of the test.
That's right.
It's just to get through it. And so he meets Leodio and Kurapika.
And why does he want to be a hunter?
Well, he wants to find his dad. He knows that with the hunter card, you can get to places that you normally wouldn't be able to get to. And yeah, he meets some people on the way, and he befriends a few people. One of those being Killua. Yeah, the reason why I like this anime so much is like it took its time building the backstory. It took its time building the character of Gon, and like it didn't rush into things like a lot of animes do now. He really just took everything into account. The small details in the show that made Gon who he is. He put a lot of thought into it, I think. And then when Killua came in and then Gon met each other, they were just on like, they were both still kids.
Because they were in that like chamber waiting for the next part of the hunter exam, right? Yeah. That's when you first met Killua. Yeah, it was really interesting because when I first watched it and like you have these two kids there, I was immediately like, oh, are they going to be like rivals just off? Because I don't know what happens afterwards. I don't really know anything about Killua and Gon. So when I first watched it, I was like, oh, are they going to be rivals? Are they going to hate each other? Like, is this now like, has Gon basically met his like arch nemesis? So it's kind of interesting to see that, like, I'm hopeful that they become friends. But just my first feelings when I watched that scene with him and his like skateboard, so I was like, oh, maybe they're not going to be friends, and they're anyway. But I was pleasantly surprised and happy that they did become really good friends. And I feel like I kept holding on that feeling of that somehow they weren't going to be friends and there was going to be some like betrayal, because I don't know, maybe because I expect that sometimes in a lot of anime that best friends have some sort of tiff, which in reality that does happen.
Well, they have tiffs.
They have tiffs, but I mean like maybe like Naruto and Sasuke, which like huge, like that's basically the story, which I haven't ever finished Naruto, so one, don't judge me, but also I can't say much other than that. But
so here's the thing, okay, and this is why it's so good.
Yeah, is this Professor you?
Yeah, this is on? Me. Let me get my professor glasses on. Okay, this is why you're feeling the way you are. Okay, I'm your therapist right now, and yes, right when Killua enters the scene, you don't know if he's gonna be good or bad, if they're gonna be friends, and there's a reason to that. Okay? Right. So they're both kids, right? They both still are immature, but they're also on like completely different like sides of the spectrum, where Gon is like is a glass half full kind of kid, and he believes in the best in people. That's true. And then Killua is just glass half empty and very pessimistic. Like he just sees things. Everyone's always after him. He's always protecting himself, and and he's ready to kill at any moment for gain, whatever. And so like I said, I didn't say this, but those opposites attract. And what Killua didn't know, I think, was that you can be like Gon and be innocent and still be really strong. Like, I don't think he's met a kid his age that was that strong and not growing up the way Killua did, where he was abused, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what attracted Killua to Gon, and Killua, like, then built this, like, sense of, like, wanted to protect Gon, like, and his innocence, because, I don't know, something about it that I think Killua noticed that was, like, really precious.
Kind of like rare in human beings.
That's right. And then later on in the show, you kind of see it, like, when Gon gets really angry with murderous intent, Killua tries to calm him down because he doesn't want Gon to kind of develop that side. And so Killua is just always trying to protect him, and you see it throughout the show. But anyway, so okay, I'll take off my glasses now.
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome. You're welcome for analyzing that part and helping you understand your feelings and emotions.
Wow, thank you. That really opened my eyes.
You're welcome. So yeah, I mean, a lot happens during the Hunter exam. We won't go through it all, obviously, but Leorio, Kurapika, and Killua, they all build this bond, just going through the test together, and at the very end, they have this final tournament fight. Netero puts together a last second tournament, and basically if you pass it, then you get your Hunter.
No, I don't remember.
Anyway, they all end up passing. The end.
Wow.
That's it. Okay, thank you for coming to episode 2. Appreciate it.
When I think about hunters sometimes, at least just with the title Hunter x Hunter, you think that they're like hunters, that there's a prey that they need to hunt. But it's interesting that there's different kinds of hunters. Like, there's the cook people, the people who, like, they hunt ingredients, so they just scour the world for all these different ingredients to cook food, and it's just interesting. And then, like, Gon's dad is basically, well, they kind of say he's like an archaeological hunter. He, like, hunts lost civilizations and things like that, right? Like, kind of that's his specialty and forte. So, but then I wonder, I don't know if Gon really has, like, a specific, right? Other than I don't know. Like, other than just hunting for his dad, I guess.
It's just the adventure that he's looking for, I think.
And true, and I mean, Leorio doesn't want anything particularly, he just wants money, so.
Yeah, I think it was because someone close to him or something just got sick and died or something, so he wanted to become a doctor. And he needed lots of money to do that.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, it's just interesting that there's, I don't know, that the Hunter Association is a little more lax on that. Like, not that, I mean, anyone literally can be a hunter so long as you pass the exams, and the exams are always changing.
They don't care about your intent with the hunter card or the privileges you get.
Right.
Being a hunter, you can be an assassin, you can be
a
bad hunter, you can be a good hunter. Kind of like One Piece. You can be a good pirate or you can be a bad pirate. But
That's true.
If you're an actual pirate, is the again. Yeah, the crazy thing is there's another world, and we don't get to see that. I think in the manga they show
I
kind
guess
of
we
moves
need to be
towards
manga
that.
people. We need to read manga.
No
Yeah,
manga.
we do.
No, I can't read, babe. The way they ended the show, I thought was bittersweet. I think the way it ended was like it left you wanting more, and that's why I always like rewatch it. It's like, dang it, I feel like there's so much more missing. I kind of liked that. Something else about Gon and Kilo's friendship.
This is like his therapy show.
Yeah, it's my therapy show. It's taught me a lot about life and how I should treat my wife. And I think Kilo always mentions this, that friends don't apologize or say thank you.
Yeah, Tristan would always say that.
Because once you're friends, it's expected. Like you don't owe why things. Would you? Yeah, you don't owe each other anything. Saying thank you or saying sorry is an indication that you owed that to them, and friends shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, I always say sorry.
So poetic.
Wow.
It's so poetic. So yeah, Tiara always says sorry, and I'm like, babe, friends don't say sorry, okay? But that's not normal in real life, and In a marriage, you have to say sorry and thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
Thierry taught me that, I guess.
I would probably be gone like in our relationship, huh? Because I'm just like, actually no, I'm kind of more realistic, pessimistic. Because I always like am preparing for the worst. So maybe I'm Killua. Which isn't bad because...
Good job. You almost messed up there. You almost messed up there.
Because Killua's like awesome. He always wears cool clothes and his hair is really cool.
And then there's this thing, Hisoka, who's a creep. And
yeah, he's really weird.
It's the weirdest thing.
And like sometimes like in the show you're like, okay, maybe I get Hisoka, like maybe I understand why he's so fixated on Gon, and then something else happens, you're like, I don't understand it anymore, other than that he is fixated on Gon. Like,
yeah,
you
can't tell if it's like a sexual thing or just a power thing.
Yeah, that he's just waiting for him to like grow up so he can like beat him and stuff.
Yeah, but
because he does that with all the
people. Way the scenes with Hisoka just like naked, like butt naked, like thinking about Gon is like, okay, guy, calm down.
Or there's that scene where Killua and Gon are walking in front of him, and then he's like, it shoots, and it's like the viewpoint of someone checking out Gon and Killua's butts.
Yeah.
And then they respond, Gon and Killua, and they're like, oh, like with shivers, and they're like, we feel really creeped out.
So they like run behind him and walk behind him instead.
Gosh, that's crazy.
But he's an epic character.
He really is. Like, I mean, Hunter x Hunter without Hisoka, I don't know, that'd be weird, huh?
He just adds that element of surprise and just weirdness. That's in the world, like that kind of stuff's out there, which so I don't know, it adds to it, I think. But in the end, he's just an epic character, and like he's super strong, and
he looks cool, pink hair.
Yeah, and he's just all about himself, and I can't say he's evil.
No, I think he's self-centered. Like he has his own agenda, and whatever it takes to accomplish his agenda is what he's gonna do, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
So he's not like this, I'm only gonna do bad because I want to do bad. I'm not gonna do good. It's just whatever works for me is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and then it kind of pushed Gon a little bit too to be stronger, because he had to get his badge back from.
Oh yeah.
From Hisoka and the what do you call it?
In the arena, the Heavens Arena, or whatever it's called.
So it kind of pushed him to be stronger, and so I think he was helping them along the way too.
But then I guess in that sense, it also, you can see that that's Hisoka's like agenda. Like, he wants Gon to be stronger because then he's gonna aim to beat him in the future.
Right.
Which is what he does with what he wanted to do with Chrollo, right?
Yeah.
And also, what's Killua's older brother? Because he also wants to fight him, right?
Oh, what's his name?
The creepy, like, needle guy.
He's the
Illumi.
Illumi,
yeah. Yeah, so they all have double L's.
That guy was evil.
Yeah, well, because then when we were talking about, like, why Killua is the way that he is, that he was, like, kind of had this, I'm not really going to protect my friend because it's taught me that I need to leave if there's a stronger opponent. Right. But I think that also begs the question of, was that strictly Killua, or was that also because Illumi had that needle in him that he like basically programmed him through torture to respond in that way when that situation happened?
I think it was because of the needle. Because once he removed it, he was fine. Mm-hmm.
But then I wonder if it's also because before that he just kept trying to fight that response.
Yeah, it's funny too now that I think about it, because Killua didn't have, when he started hanging out with Gon, like, he didn't have purpose. And so they went, I remember when they visited his Gon's mom, he just didn't know what he was going to do. He just was just going to follow Gon, because he didn't really have a purpose without being an assassin.
Right.
And I think it kind of came together at the end with the Chimera ant arc where after he removed that needle, he gained a few things: the ability to choose for himself, and then to be a better friend to Gon. But yeah, that ability to choose for himself, he was able to kind of choose a new path for himself, which was saving his sister, Aluka.
Which was cool. And it's interesting too because with that thought of, is Killua and Gon going to have some huge betrayal, was that part with his dad. Remember when he told, Killua's dad told Killua, like, just never betray your friend. And then down the storyline, you think, oh wow, he's being such a good dad, like he's giving him good counsel, you know. But then he's all like, laughs basically, because in his eyes...
That was in almost the same scene.
The which one?
It was like in the same scene when he's like, don't ever betray your friends.
But then Killua doesn't see, right?
Yeah, and then Killua leaves, but then the mom comes back and is all pissed, why'd you let Killua leave? And then he's like, don't worry, he's my son. He'll always come back.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. But to me, he was going to come back because he thought or knew that Gon was going to eventually, or that Killua was going to betray Gon. Or, like, that's what he thinks Killua is going to do. Maybe because he's like...
Where did you hear that?
No, I'm saying, like, the psychological, like...
Maybe.
If he tells him, like, don't betray your friend, and then later he's like, don't worry, he's gonna come back. It's because you think he will betray his friend, and he's gonna come back because he betrayed his friend. Now he's like, in despair. I know. Welcome to the therapy session.
You
and
can
how
have
do
some
you
glasses.
feel about
Here's
it?
some glasses.
Thank you.
That's a good point.
So I kind of, when I first watched it, I thought, oh no. Killua, like, now I'm looking for moments that Killua is gonna betray Gon, but it never happened, and I hope it never happens. So, yeah. I mean, I was sad when Killua decided to kind of forge his own path with his sister, but you cheered me up.
Well, they made it sad. They made it seem like, I don't know, there was some kind of element of, like, separation there where they could never see each other again.
No, don't say that.
Maybe.
No.
Never know.
No, that can't happen.
But that's what makes it so good.
Yeah.
It's like,
gosh. But it's also realistic, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, the characters are so well developed.
And even like, I remember when Tristan was like, let's watch Hunter x Hunter again, and I was watching it with him this time because I had seen it on my own because he told me to watch it. So anyway, so we were rewatching it together, and I remember telling him, I was like, I don't want to watch the Chimera Ant season. Like, I hate that one. I just like want to skip over it. Like, do you remember me telling you? Yeah, because I just don't like it. But rewatching it because, oh man, I forgot. Like, I remember why I hate it, but I also forgot how much, like, what a good closure, like a wrap up that season is.
The arcs are just so different from each other.
Yeah,
and it's almost like super random. It's like, okay, they go through this Hunter exam, and then I guess the Hunter exam and Zoldic's family arc, they're kind of intertwined, but then it goes into like Greed Island, and it's like,
which I really like Greed Island.
It just turns it into a whole different type of anime.
Yeah, kind of like an isekai, like where it's like, oh, I'm in another world now.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
I'm reincarnated.
Isekai is what?
Just like another world, like you're resummoned, reincarnated to another world, right?
Which they're coming out with tons of so it was like that, and then it went from that to Phantom Troop. Oh no, Phantom Troop was before, but Phantom Troop arc was like
there's like
a story of
type
revenge,
thing.
and so Gon got sucked into these other people's stories that just made it different, like different animes. Like it was just kind of weird.
Like a bad weird or
no, it was good. And then the Chimera Ants had nothing to do with like what Gon's purpose was. It just was, I don't know. It just was such a random. They were random arcs, but they, in some way, they kind of taught Gon everything he needed to know in order to find his dad.
Yeah, that's true.
And then what other? Oh yeah, and then the election arc.
Yeah, I forgot that one even existed.
It was so again random. Well, it's like election arc plus Killua's saving Killua's sister.
Yeah, I mean,
arc, but
it makes sense that happened because I mean, after the Chimera Ant and then after Netero, you're like, well, what the heck happens now?
Yeah.
But then it's just so weird that it did become really political. I mean, which is fine, but like, I don't know. You're right. It like switched kind of gears on the kind of anime it was.
Yeah.
But that was good.
And then so then the Chimera Ant arc.
Gosh.
Was so. Yeah, the way they went into it was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the queen ant was just in this cave eating a bunch of fish and then started eating people and.
I mean, it's kind of there in their name, Chimera Ant.
I'm so smart because I have a master's degree. And then what do you call them? The guards for the king.
Oh yeah, the honor guards.
What were they called? No, I'm trying to remember.
You mean like Neferpito and
Neferpito,
Shia-Poof
and
yeah. What's the other guy's name? Royal Guards.
Royal Guards.
What did I call them?
I don't know.
Honor Guards. I don't. Honor Guards are
for honor and glory. Yeah, they had some weird takes on. I don't know.
On like their personality?
They had weird ways of expressing their loyalty to the king. Like,
yeah,
Shia-Poof was like, I would say the most loyal to the king in a way because he was always after the king's interests, even though that wasn't the king's interests. Does that make sense? Like he knew that Shia-Poof knew when the king would be stronger and he'd dominate if he did this. But the king decides not to do that because he's not interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
And so Shia-Poof was like always trying to get the king to dominate and be the king of
I think
like he deserved. Or
he was the more manipulative one of the three. Like
he was more manipulative
to reach that goal.
Yeah.
Whereas I think like Pito was very Neferpito. Yeah, was very like 100% obedient. Whatever the king said, she did.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
like she didn't, even if she disagreed with what he said, she'd just still do it because that's what the king said to do.
Yeah.
And then
true.
Yuppie was kind of, I don't even know. He was kind of like just there.
Yeah.
Because he was the last one of the three to be born, right? Because it goes Pito and then Shia-Poof and then him.
It might be, yeah.
So. Yeah.
It might be. But yeah, they all had their own ways of showing loyalty. Yeah, you're right. Shia-Poof was a lot more manipulative.
Yeah.
Knew what... almost tried to control what was best for the king or decided what was best for the king without the king's wishes. And then, Neferpito, like... when the king told her to protect the
Komugi, the girl.
Komugi. That was her one thing. Even though Komugi was making Meruem change and not be the Chimera Ant or the king of Chimera Ants that he was destined to be, she would still listen to him and was protecting. Yeah, but then Yuppie was just all brute, like protection. Like he was just...
Yeah, I think he was also more like... Yeah, like more brawn. What I'm trying to say... Yeah, he didn't think much of it, like whether it was to agree or not, like to disagree, like with Shia-Poof and stuff. I think he just did what he wanted to do, in a way. I think he was just kind of like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna beat the people up. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was good.
And then
Meruem, man.
Yeah, he was interesting.
I'm trying to remember sad. Why I hate. I mean, I don't like the Chimera Ants. Maybe because I didn't like it because when the queen starts eating humans, it was the two kids.
Oh yeah.
That still gets me. What's his name? And he was the most loyal to the queen. It was the boy. Because she ate the boy.
He had wings.
Yeah, and he's like a little grasshopper kid person.
Yeah, I forget.
What is his name?
His name.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
Tell us in the comments. We forgot.
But that I think that's what like got to me. Why it was so sad, because they get eaten. And,
yeah.
You know.
So Komugi comes in, plays board games with Meruem, and I don't know. He saw something in her that like showed him that there are powerful people out there that can still beat him, and
that's right.
Yeah.
Because I remember there's that internal conversation he's having where he's like, I can legitimately just break this girl and she would die, but in terms of like that Gungi or whatever, she's but then he also, I mean, he loved her. Oh my god, the ending scene of them together,
sad.
And then I
just
can't...
like drifted off into death. Yeah.
So cute though. True love.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
It's like he knew what he was destined to do. There's just conflict between what he was supposed to do as the Chimerian king and what to do with the humans. And in the end, I think he just wanted to save the strong humans and decide for himself who's strong. And then even at the end, when they're going to fight, Meruem and Netero are going to fight. Like, Meruem didn't want to fight him. He just wanted to talk.
Yeah, that's right.
And Netero knew... And so it's weird that he took the side of nonviolence and wanted just to talk to Netero. But Netero was like, there's no compromising with someone like that. I have to kill you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that one was...
Which is crazy because...
behind that.
Maybe because, like, okay, Netero is, like, thinking, yeah, maybe you could be different now, but what if something happens to Komugi? Oh, the whole human race would be gone for sure, type thing. Don't you think?
What do you mean?
Like, even though I was hopeful, like, oh, maybe Meruem is going to be fine, because he just wanted to play Gungi all day long. So, maybe I'm just saying, like, Netero, like you said, knew that there was no other way other than to than to kill him. But also because even if he were to be good for a moment, he's so strong that if something were to happen, he'd just destroy the human race anyway. You know what I mean? Like he could be like, I'm changed, the humans are okay, but if something were to happen to Komugi, or like it could be easily diverted the other way, and he'd be way too strong for them to even stop him at that point.
True.
Basically, that was really long-winded and probably not well thought out, but yeah.
Well, and then Komugi was trying to defend Meruem.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know what he looked like or kind of what he was doing.
She
just knew her through the game.
And she just enjoyed herself because she was like, this is the only thing I'm good for. Everyone like hates her, picks on her.
Yeah, and she even bets her life at one point because she said, if I lose at this game, I deserve to die.
Yeah.
Because she was always she felt like she was always a burden to her family. Mm-hmm. And the only thing she had was Gungi, and if she loses at Gungi, then she's like, just kill me.
No, that's true. I mean, in that mind frame. That was kind of sad though, but yeah. Still think it's so funny. She's like, her nose is like...
Oh yeah, she's
like snots and everything, and...
Anyway, well, I think that's...
We kind of dragged on.
I think we covered most of it. I mean, not most of it. We covered what we wanted to. I think there's a lot there. If you guys have any other parts in the series that you thought were good, please leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely my favorite anime. There's a lot of them. There's so many good animes out there, but I'd have to say from a character development standpoint, the storyline, the overall, even the animation isn't bad for how long ago it was made. It was just really clever, and I don't know if anyone could really do that again.
Yeah. And maybe that randomness, because you were saying like sometimes the arcs are not sometimes, like the arcs are really random. I think that randomness also adds to like its exciting nature, because you can't really predict what's going to happen next. Like really, who would have thought the next thing was a Chimera Ant arc that he was going to...
It's so far out in left field. It's like... Yeah. What the heck is going on?
And then he's like, and politics.
Yeah.
That was good.
But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. And yeah, thanks for watching this show. All right.
Oh my gosh.